angry that hundreds of parents had to cry their eyes out today, not knowing if their child would come home from school, and angry that we have to live day after day when we turn on the news to see rampant gun violence claiming life after life. And all of this is because politicians in this chamber that have been bought and paid for by the NRA that put profits over people, over human lives.
Freshman Congressman Maxwell Frost is calling out the congressional lawmakers who have consistently failed to pass common sense gun legislation to minimize the amount of carnage we experience in this country. Of course, this follows yet another school shooting, this time in Nashville, Tennessee. Here's more from his speech on the House floor.
I rise today because I am furious, angry that 3 kids died today in Nashville, Tennessee. Angry that hundreds of parents had to cry their eyes out today, not knowing if their child would come home from school. And angry that we have to live day after day when we turn on the news to see rampant gun violence claiming life after life. And all of this is because politicians in this chamber that have been bought and paid for by the NRA that put profits over people, over human lives. Cowards who wasted our time last week, passing a parental bill of rights, not giving a damn about the rights of children to be able to go to their classroom without the fear of being gunned down due to senseless gun violence. It is likely that at this moment, the next mass shooter is planning their shooting. What will this chamber do about it?
It's always nice to see how these speeches turn out for freshman congresspeople who identify as progressives. Enjoy it. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I love seeing it. It's incredibly fiery and powerful and accurate. Everything he's saying is accurate. And we're gonna get into all the details in regard to how Republican lawmakers have reacted and responded to this. Again, how many school shootings have we had already? So yet another school shooting. Cenk.
Yeah, so man, so far I love Maxwell Frost. Give me more of that. Okay, so very clear. My colleagues are bought and paid for. Thank you. Thank you for finally saying it. I'm not sure that a single other legislator has actually said that on the floor of Congress, because that's the red line for Washington, D.C. That's the third rail. You can't criticize your beloved colleagues and call them corrupt, but they are corrupt. So it took a young person to go in there and go, I don't give a damn about your stupid old rules. No, these guys are obviously bought and paid for. Thank you. And he calls them cowards. That's exactly right. They are cowards and you should have the courage to say it. Finally, someone fighting back. To Anna's point, man, Maxwell, whatever you do, do not stop doing that. Because what's gonna happen next, and I guarantee you it's happened in the last 24 hours since he gave that speech.
Absolutely.
Is that not Republicans, fellow Democrats, I guarantee you pulled him aside and said, hey, Maxwell, you gotta know the rules around here. You gotta know the etiquette. You can't do that. Those are our cherished Republican colleagues. Oh, we love them so much. What if they talk about how we're bought and paid for? Maxwell, do not stop. You're like the only hope left. Everyone else is totally stopped and not saying a goddamn thing. So go get him. State
Representative Tim Burchette was asked what should be done to protect kids, and here's how he responded.
What should be done to protect people like your little girl from being safe in school?
Well, we homeschool her, but that's our decision. Some people don't have that option, and frankly, some people don't need to do it. I mean, they don't have to. It just suited our needs much better.
Thank you.
You good?
If there's any role for Congress to play in reaction to this tragedy, obviously this is your state now, but it's happened in every other state.
Oh, it's happening. It doesn't matter what state it's happening in. We're all Americans. It doesn't matter the color of their skin. They all bleed red, and they're bleeding a lot. I don't see any real role that we could do other than mess things up, honestly, because of the situation. It's like I said, I don't think a criminal's going to stop from guns. You can print them out on the computer now, 3D printing, and there's really, I don't think you're going to stop the gun violence. I think you've got to change people's hearts. As a Christian, as we talk about in the church, and I've said this many times, I think we really need revival. We're not going to fix it. Criminals are going to be criminals.
Why are you in elected office? Like, why even pursue that if you think you're worthless and have no interest in actually doing your job? Like, that's what I took away from that conversation. He seemed annoyed as soon as the reporter asked him, what can Congress do to make this situation better? I mean, it's just like, oh God, this question again.
Yeah, no. He literally said, we're not going to fix it.
No, but you know what? I respect the honesty because that's the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth. It's the truth when it comes to Congress on a federal level. It's the truth when it comes to those state lawmakers. They don't care. They just don't care. They don't care. We're going to keep covering these stories of children getting slaughtered as they're in schools, and they're going to keep telling us they don't care. So the real question is, to the electorate, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? Do we keep electing these pathetic lawmakers, both on the left and the right, to be quite honest with you? Or do we demand better for ourselves, for our children, for our communities? Or do we just accept this? Is this the new normal, where we just accept that every time you drop your kids off at school, there's some chance that they might get slaughtered by a mass shooter? This country's embarrassing.
I mean, he said we'd mess things up. What, worse than now? We have more than one mass shooting per day. We have nonstop massacres at our schools. How much worse can it get? And he says blithely, criminals are going to be criminals. Really? But they're criminals in Japan and there's no mass shootings. There's criminals in Australia and there's no mass shootings. There's tons of criminals in the UK. There's no mass shootings. Why? Because they don't hand an assault weapon to every person who comes in the door. They don't hand it to their young kids and say, oh yeah, the answer to everything is an assault weapon. Maybe you should, that's my civil liberties. Come on, guys. Like, really, for a Republican? Like, let's have an honest conversation. Look, I get it. Sometimes people don't feel safe. You live in a remote area. I knew a woman who suffered sexual assault.
You live in LA.
And she lives, and she carries a gun. I get it, right? But you're handing kids assault weapons and taking Christmas pictures with them. I mean, you might as well advertise that you're a lunatic. And then you come in and say, oh, there's nothing we could do, man. And my guns is the most important thing in the world. So let's be honest. Right-wingers are saying now, my weapons are more important than your kids.